Hi everybody, Poseidon H2O here from Carbon Knights Gaming. Just wanted to give you all a little tutorial on fatigue and how the hot springs trick works in Harvest Moon Back to Nature. It's a great game. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. And now on with the video. So in Harvest Moon Back to Nature, there isn't a stamina bar. What you get is, you'll see one right now, these little animations that show your little guy getting more and more tired as he works. And your stamina goes down for almost anything. You can eat foods that bring your stamina down. Mostly they bring them up, though. There's just a select few that bring them down. Working with any tools, pulling weeds, lifting and moving rocks around and stuff like that. Basically anything. There's another one. He's getting pretty tired now. But I just wanted to show you what happens when your guy gets tired completely out, when he gets exhausted. So it's Thursday at 8 p.m. Remember that, because in a minute here that's going to come into play. Once he gets really tired. Let's see here. Little guy, there he is. He's plumb tuckered. And he wakes up in the hospital. The doctor is just saying he's exhausted and he'll have to rest one day. So what happens is, it doesn't matter what time you get exhausted at, you always go to the hospital and you always wake up at noon on the next day. And this can really cut into your working time, as you're definitely going to want to get up at 6 a.m. every day you can. It's just, otherwise the game gets way too hard. Now, let's see how we can prevent it. We're back in the mine. The guy's getting a little bit tired again. He's just going to keep going. And we'll see how far he can go before I decide to bring him in and do the hot springs trick, which is really what this video is about. You don't want to push him too hard. There is an animation after the one I'm going to show you too, but it doesn't always show up, I've noticed. He falls down there on his butt. He can also fall down on his face, but for some reason that animation doesn't always show up. I don't risk it. I go when he falls on his butt. Anyway, so we just run around here. We go into the hot springs. And we get in at 8:20. We can get out at 9:20. You got to be in there at least an hour. But I like to push it just until the very next tick of the clock. So we're going to actually get out. You'll see here in a second. We're actually going to get out in at 9:30, just as it clicks over. And to get out of the hot springs, you have to click X twice. You can't just click it once, otherwise he just wakes up. And then, so you got to click it once to wake him up, once to get out. And you'll see in a second here what I was talking about before. See, it's 9:20 now. We could probably get out, but I'd rather not risk it. Let's hop back out at 9:30 here. And let's go back into the mine and see how that worked. He should, either should be one animation left, or he would just collapse the next time there'd be an animation. But because we went in the hot spring, let's show you what happened here. I'm going to speed it up because I didn't... it would just take too long. So here we go. He's getting a little bit tired now. He's getting a sweaty brow. That's the first animation you usually get. Sometimes they go out of order. I don't know why. But here he goes again. We'll rip around the outside here so it's quicker. If you're in the mine and you want to mine any ores or the little gold bags that are worth $10 each, don't do anything around the outside of the mine, because as you'll see here, you don't get anything. And there's also no... You can't get down to the bottom of the mine going around the outside. It doesn't open up the ladder either. So here we go. Here he is, getting a little more tired. He should have passed out by now if he wasn't fatigued. You can go all the way back to him falling on his butt again or falling on his face. But we're going to go to the farm and show you what the next thing you can use the hot springs trick for is to stay up really late. Usually if you go to bed too late, especially if you've been working, you're going to find out quick that you're not going to get up at 6 a.m. You'll be up at noon again because you overslept. So now he's really tired, and it's 1 a.m. I don't blame him. Well, it's 1:30, I guess. So we'll rip into the hot springs again, and again we'll do it for an hour and 10 minutes, I guess, is what I do it for. But you can just do it for an hour if you feel comfortable with that. Got in at 1:50. I'm going to get him out as soon as it turns to 3 o'clock. Run back home, and we'll see if he can actually sleep. If he can sleep for a shortened amount of time and actually get up at 6 a.m. Because I find if you don't get up at 6 a.m., you don't get all your plants either harvested or watered before Zach comes to get them from your bin at 5 o'clock every day. But you can also drop anything off you that you have. You don't want to push it too hard because you can actually get into the hot springs at 4 a.m., stay there till 5, and then you have plenty of time to get home before 6 a.m. As long as you're in bed and fully rested from the hot springs before 6 a.m., you can sleep for 10 minutes and it doesn't matter. So as you'll see here, we got about 2.5 hours of sleep coming to us. And we'll see if we get up at 6 a.m. or if he sleeps in. Yeah, there was no doubt he's getting up at 6 a.m. in my mind. Remember, hug your dog, like and subscribe, and keep an eye out for more videos.